Hi, mystery writers. Today we're going to talk about how to make your suspects believable to keep those readers guessing. First, I want to thank my supporters on Patreon who support this video series and also my mystery writing. And if you would like to be a patron, there's a link in the description below. Alright, so suspects are the lifeblood of your mystery. Without them, your mystery sleuth would have no challenges and solve the mystery in an instant. That doesn't make for a good story. And while evidence, clues, and red herrings help your reader keep guessing, the suspects provide the personal interaction with your sleuth, and it's that character interaction that keeps readers involved, and it's the story world. It's what pulls your reader into your story. So your challenge as a mystery writer is to create characters that challenge your sleuth. And your detective must track down, examine, and determine each suspect's relationship with the victim. And each interaction with the suspect drives your sleuth and your reader toward that final solution. So in order to do that, you need to create a suspect with a suspicious character. There has to be something that makes your sleuth and your reader guess. So each suspect had a relationship with the victim, and you want to use that relationship to provide insight into the victim's world. But each suspect also has a private life, and that private life is what drives the interaction with your sleuth. So you want to start your suspect by building a rich character background. First of all, you need to understand the suspect's life in relation to the victim, and also their personal life that's not related to the victim. And we're going to get to that in a minute. And the secrets they want to keep hidden may or may not be, those secrets may or may not be related to the victim. And then, most importantly for your story, the lies they tell to preserve the secrets. Okay. So you want to go way beyond the thug as a character, alright? You want to give the thug a name and a background with relationships and a physical fallibility and an emotional weakness. When you start adding those dimensions to your characters and your suspects, it just pulls the reader in to your story, because they start relating to that character. Whether they like them or they don't like them, it doesn't make a difference. So the thing is that they're going to relate to that character as a person. Alright, so Adrian McKenty creates a memorable layered hitman in his novel Falling Glass. He has a relationship with a girlfriend, which ups the stakes on his assignment. So just go in and think about your suspect character's overall life. It adds dimension to your story. And then psychological writers like Ruth Rendell and Anne Cleese and Elizabeth George build their mysteries on deep psychological character portrayals. So they go very deep into the psychology of each of the suspects. And even if you're not writing a psychological mystery, you build that reader engagement by delving deep into your characters. So something that's really important for your character suspects is their secret. the more readers see your characters hiding secrets, the more they engage in solving the mystery. Remember, mystery readers think they want to solve the mystery before your sleuth does, but then, of course, they're disappointed if they do, so you don't want that to happen. But they want to feel like they can, all right? So your sleuth works hard to uncover suspects, and your suspects work hard to hide their personal secrets, and your readers will work just as hard as the suspects throw up those screens and hide their personal secrets. The secrets that your suspects harbor do not need to be related to the murder. Everybody has secrets, and just because somebody they knew was murdered doesn't mean that they want their whole personal life exposed. So you have a lot of room to develop ways for suspects to throw up smoke screens for your story. A suspect can appear suspicious by hiding a personal secret that doesn't relate to the victim or the murder. And the very act of attempting to hide a secret creates tension in your story. And tension keeps readers turning pages. So, which supporting characters give your readers an engaging reading experience you want them to enjoy reading your story? And the obstacles that those suspects create are obstacles for readers who are trying to solve the mystery. So go deep, play around with it. So first of all, you want to make sure that your suspect has a personality. It seems like this is a given, but sometimes it's like suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, and the reader doesn't really feel like they're engaging with the story and the suspects in the story. So you want to give each suspect a unique personality, and so think about the ways each suspect will create obstacles for your sleuth. That's their job in a mystery novel, is they create obstacles for your sleuth. And if everyone were cooperative and told everything they knew, you wouldn't have much of a mystery. So you want to give them reasons to hide things, to hide those personal secrets. And these interactions and consequent frustrations emotionally tie your reader to the story, because you raise questions about how the sleuth is going to respond to what the suspect is doing. And they may be aggressive, they may be hesitant, they may be reluctant to share information, they may actually mock your sleuth, they may attempt to seduce your sleuth. There's just so many things suspects can do as people, right? So you want to dream up problems that your suspects give your sleuth. I think this is part of, at least for me, this is part of the fun of writing mysteries, is how are those suspects going to give your sleuth trouble? So the plot itself creates the puzzle, but the characters tie the reader to the story. And a detailed character Bible helps you create a strong story filled with interactions among a variety of character types. Three-dimensional characters bring your reader into the story and make them care about the outcome. So even though, I'll just say this again, even though the plot is the puzzle, it's the characters that bring your story, your reader into the story. So the more you can develop unique, interesting characters with secrets to hide, the more you confound your sleuth, the more you keep your readers guessing. So first of all, you need to know the suspect's relationship to the victim, because they wouldn't be suspects if they didn't have some kind of relationship to the victim. You might choose one who's open about their relationship with the victim, and for others, you might want them to hide their different aspects of their relationship to the victim. They're keeping that part of their relationship with the victim a secret. And that way, your sleuth, as your story progresses, your sleuth is uncovering layers, one about the victim and two about the suspects. And so the best way to think about suspects is to give each one a secret, and then give them lies to cover up the secret. So the secret. Along with the character's context in this story, their ability to lie, to hide a personal secret, is a device you can use to confound your sleuth. So first, you've got to come up with that secret, right? So the personal secret can be about the relationship with the victim, or it can be a secret about something else the character doesn't want to reveal. They're going to hide that secret. They may have a gambling problem. It has nothing to do with the victim, but they don't want the sleuth to know about their gambling addiction or anything else. Anyway, you can make those things up. Either way, that suspect is holding back from your sleuth, and your sleuth has a sense that they're holding back. So just remember that as you're creating your suspect characters, everyone has secrets. So you won't have to dig too much to come up with a secret for each of your suspects, but I highly recommend that you do come up with a secret for each of those suspects, because remember, one of the suspects is the actual villain. And at some point, your sleuth is going to discover the cover-up of the secret. But meanwhile, your suspect needs a lie in order to hide their secret. So as you develop the secret for your suspects, you want to also develop the lie they tell. They tell it to themselves, they tell it to the world, they tell it to your sleuth. That lie that they tell to cover up their secret. And whether the secret is about the victim or something else, your suspect has this regular lie that they tell, that they use to hide the secret. And it's worked with everyone else, so they expect it to work with the sleuth as well. And the lie is practiced and easy to tell because it's well rehearsed. They've used it for a long time. But as your sleuth keeps digging, it may uncover that lie, that traditional lie that the suspect tells, and all of a sudden your suspect has to hustle. They have to come up with what I call the last-ditch lie. They've got to, oops, they figured that part out. Well, I'm just going to make something up else to keep hiding my secret. Because as the sleuth penetrates the first lie, then the suspect may have a deeper lie, perhaps one they tell themselves to protect that secret. And once your sleuth starts probing, the suspect's lie may fall apart, and this one is not so well rehearsed. They haven't used it very much because the other lie worked perfectly well most of the time. And the suspect may mix up the story, they may get the details wrong, they may say they were here at one time and then the next time they tell the story, it's all mixed up. So you get to play with this a lot because your sleuth is going to find those miscues. For most suspects, this will be very uncomfortable when your sleuth uncovers that first lie and starts probing and they try to come up with a second lie and it doesn't work so well. It's going to be uncomfortable and it won't solve the mystery puzzle for the sleuth. And if the suspect is the villain, this can be the turning point in your story where the sleuth like honing in on the real villain, because the villain just can't keep up that last ditch lie. Okay, so secret, lie, and the last ditch lie. If you make those up for each of your suspects, you're going to have a lot to work with as you tell your story, as your sleuth probes, and as they get closer to discovering who the real villain is. Because believable suspects make, believable characters make the best suspects. So take the time to create those three-dimensional characters and keep your sleuth guessing and your readers guessing. And the more complicated and differentiated each of your suspects are, the more difficult you make it to identifying the real villain. Okay, I hope that helps. Playing with your suspects and coming up with their ideas, I think, is a great part of the fun of mystery writing. It is, for me at least, is, coming up with those suspects and coming up with the ways and the problems they have in their life that they want to keep hidden, even if it has nothing to do with the actual crime itself. All right, so if you want to explore other mystery writers and how they create believable suspects, one of the ways I recommend is to listen to mysteries on Audible. And if you are not familiar with Audible, it is stories that are narrated, they're told alive, and it's a great listening experience. And Audible is a sponsor of Write a Killer Mystery, so you can click the link below for a 30-day free trial. You can start listening to mysteries or anything else that's on Audible for free for 30 days, so give it a try. All right, thank you so much. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe and click that little notification bell so you know the next time we talk about writing a good mystery on Write a Killer Mystery. All right, keep writing.